morning. We'll talk about attaining liberation in life, or Jivanmukti. And I started thinking about non-attachment as a theme, and I decided that liberation would be a little bit broader. And when I start examining all the things that we're enslaved to, I see fashion as what immediately pops into my mind. But now this year, everyone's staying at home all the time. That's not a big issue. You could wear the same outfit for weeks and nobody would notice. But now we've become slaves to our phone and social media and the Netflix and things that we've just come over-attached to. Over-attached to our possessions in the way that our things start to own us instead of we owning them. And sometimes we're just over-attached and a slave to habits that are no longer serving us. We get attached to our own ideas that we know everything, for instance, and we get stuck in a rut, kind of inflexible or intransigent. And sometimes we're a slave to our pride, our ego, or to our fear. Assumptions and expectations also can hold us ransom. I put in our chat box my favorite quote from Bob Marley's redemption song, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free your mind." And these ideas of non-attachment brought me to memories of the Buddhist monks that create these beautiful large mandalas made of sand, and they're extremely intricate and take days and hours of very focused and careful labor by several of the monks, so that at the end they can celebrate their achievement and still be unattached to the fruits of their efforts and sweep them up and give them away. A Jivanmukta is a person who has attained enlightenment through the assimilation of divine knowledge and is liberated with an inner sense of freedom while alive. For a yogi to be liberated in life means that they have freed themselves from ignorance, ego, attachment, aversion, and the fear of death. Easier said than done, right? But liberation allows the yogi to act out of love and compassion instead of ego or fear. Non-attachment arises naturally from our acceptance of the impermanence of embodied existence, as we must accept that the physical world is ephemeral and constantly changing, like the leaves on a tree that grow, give energy to the tree, and then are shed to enrich the soil. Likewise, we must also acknowledge the transcendent nature of the spiritual world, which is eternal, like the roots of the tree that give the tree nourishment and strength to stand tall, growing ever deeper year after year. Whatever waters these roots also nourishes your soul and allows you to become Jivanmukti, liberated in life. The duality of immanent and transcendent realities are yoked together for the Jivanmukti through yoga, and ignorance is replaced by knowledge of the self, the ultimate reality. Now, I'd like for us to practice Hridaya Mudra. Oh, here. Did I have anything on that mudra? I didn't. Where we'll bring the arms in front, And cross the right wrist over the left wrist so the backs of the hands are touching. Then intertwine the pinky fingers. Skip the ring finger. Intertwine the middle and index fingers. And then connect the tip of the ring finger to the tip of the thumb. Then you bring this over the heart. To have this brave and courageous heart that will help you liberate yourself from these afflictions, these kleshas, or veils that obscure the ultimate reality of your essential nature, and the self with a capital S, self. And breathing in and out through the nose so that you grow taller on the inhale. Roll the shoulders up and back. And grow stronger on the exhale, pulling the navel to the spine. Holding this mudra of courage and fearlessness at the heart. And breathing more and more strength into your body. Inhaling to increase openness, acceptance, and flexibility of mind. Exhaling to let go of closed-mindedness, prejudice, or rigidness of mind. Inhale the open mind of a seeker. Exhale the closed mind of someone that thinks that they know everything. One who is truly wise is one who can learn from everyone, every experience. And release the mudra. And please come around to table pose on hands and knees. Begin some spinal movements, first by anchoring through the hands and fingertips. The knees hip width apart, with plenty of space between the knees and the wrists. And then look up on the inhalation, lift the sitting bones, and look down on the exhalation, pull the navel to the spine. Inhale to that sway back cow, and exhale to the angry cat back. Flowing easily and smoothly with your breath. So you're using your full lung capacity with each inhale and emptying every ounce of air on the exhale. Now start to get a little more creative with that movement. Start to roll around in the chest, circle in the hips. Whatever your body's ready to try and explore this morning in the way of spinal movement. And we're coming back to the center and lifting the knees up. Hover the knees off the mat. And then start to walk like a crab. Forward, backward, side to side. Just move around any way you want to. Just some crab walking around. And then back down with the knees and rest, table pose. And child's pose, sitting back to the heels. Surrendering the heart, surrendering the mind. And breathing openness into the mind. Always an opportunity to learn about yourself, even in the simplest, basic poses. Rise up again when you're ready. Table pose. And lift up the right leg. And circle the right ankle each direction. Start one way, then the other. Then circle the right knee, moving forward, around, and back. Nice, gentle circles. And reverse the circles with the right knee. Then lift the right knee up, flex the foot, press the sole of the foot towards the sky. And on the exhale, draw the right knee into the chest, bringing the nose towards the knee. And flow with your breath up on the inhale, in on the exhale. Keep the hands nice and strong, the fingertips pressing in. And last time, right knee in, hold, and release. Right knee down, lift the left leg up, and start by circling the left ankle. Both directions. Change. Then circling the left knee. Gradually widening those circles. And then switching direction. And release that. Bring the knee to the chest. Exhale. And inhale, press the left foot up. And flowing at your speed. Inhale, press the sole of the foot up. And exhale, tuck the knee to the nose. Hands are still strong. Shoulder blades drawing into the back. Now, lower the left foot, curl the toes under, and lift up the knees. Press the hips back with knees bent. Claw in with the fingertips. And then start to walk the knees and move the hips around. Just explore a little bit of movement. Have fun. And start to walk the feet forward. Widen the feet to the width of the mat. And when the heels can touch the mat, start to bend the knees. Lean back with the hips. And keep clawing in the fingertips so you can add traction to the spine and neck. Breathe into the back. Now hug the legs to the midline. Inhale, roll the back up. And bring the shoulders up, back, and around so that you clasp hands behind the back. And press down through the feet and heels. Lift up in the chest. And take a slight baby back bend. Engage through the thighs and calves so you hug the leg muscles to the bone and the legs become stronger and longer. The tailbone lengthens. Root down and inhale, rise up. And walk to the front of the mat for Fearless Heart Namaskar. Create that fearless heart mudra. Invoking your courage to liberate yourself from old limitations, mental limitations, right, that are enslaving you. Emancipate the mind. Inhale, sweep the arms up and arch back some, a little back bend. And exhale, swan dive forward. Bend the knees, step right foot back, and lower right knee down. Low lunge. Press down through the legs. Inhale, reach up with the arms. And exhale, lower hands down. Step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders forward over the wrists. Exhale, knees down, hips down, chest rolling forward. And point the toes. Inhale, cobra pose. And this is a little swaying cobra, a little dancing side to side. And then rolling back. Exhale, roll forward and down. Inhale, push up. Press back to downward dog. Lift the right leg. And exhale, step right foot through. Lower the left knee. Root down. Inhale, rise up. Anjaneyasana. And exhale, hands forward to the mat. Inhale, step left foot up to meet the right. And exhale, fold over straight legs. Soften the knees. Inhale, reach up with the arms. Press down through the feet to lengthen the whole spine. And exhale, relax. Arms down. Fearless heart. Liberation in life. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, lift them up, arch back. And exhale, fold forward, swan dive. Bend the knees. This time, step the left foot back. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, sweep up with the arms. Root down through the legs. And exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot back to downward dog. Inhale, shoulders forward, high plank. Exhale, knees down, hips down, rolling out like a red carpet. Point the toes. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back into cobra. And just play some with that cobra, rocking it side to side, swaying like a dancing fool. And curling back. One more inhale. Exhale, roll it out. Inhale, push up. Press back to downward dog. Lift the left leg. And step the left foot through. Lower the right knee down. Inhale, root down, rise up. And exhale, release, hands to the mat. Inhale, step right foot up to meet the left. And exhale, fold over straight legs. Soften the knees. Inhale, lift up with the arms. Curl back. And exhale, release, hands down. Warrior one. Step right foot back. Bend the left knee. Turn the outer right hip forward, pull the left hip crease back, and draw the tailbone down, pulling navel to spine. Root in with the core of your strength. After anchoring through the legs, lift the arms. Lean forward with the arms so you can lengthen through the lower back, pulling navel to spine. Then inhale, roll the shoulders up and back, broaden the neck. Breathe nice deep breaths. Liberating the mind from preconceived concepts of what is or isn't possible with your practice. Then reaching out, warrior 3, balance on the left leg, toe touch with the back foot, and finally lift the back leg up, Virabhadrasana. Send energy all the way out through the tips of your fingers and back through the sole of the right foot. Then slowly step back down and release. We'll do the other side. Step the right foot forward, left foot back, and bend the right knee. And take time to really feel in the soles of your feet when you have a very grounded connection. Align the hips. Reach out and forward with the arms. Draw the navel to the spine. Lengthen the tailbone. Lengthen through the inseam of the left thigh all the way down to the back heel. Breathe length and then rise. Grow taller, broader, stronger. And warrior 3, reach forward, toe touch with the back foot. And finally lift the back leg up. Spread the toes, spread the fingers. Engage with the breath. You've got this. And slowly step back, warrior. And rest the arms. Step the left foot forward. Now we have wide leg forward fold. Take a wide stance. Turn the toes so they're both feet are parallel. Bend the knees, fold forward halfway. Roll the shoulders up and back. And exhale, pull the navel in. Bring the fingertips to the mat, under the shoulders. Inhale, soften the knees. Lift in the back of the skull and neck. And on the exhale, straighten the knees, fold forward more. Keeping the weight even in the balls of the feet and the heels. Breathe length on the inhalation. And test your limits on the exhale to go deeper. Soften the knees. Inhale, lift the back up. And roll the shoulders back, navel in. All right. Now, sliding the hands down the right leg, fold forward again, this time towards the right thigh. Soften the knee on the inhale and straighten the leg on the exhale. Inhale, release, lift up. And switch to the left leg. Slide hands down the left thigh. Fold towards that left leg. And soften the knee on the inhale. Straighten it more on the exhale as you pull the navel to the spine. And inhale, lift up. And now come down to the floor. Keep the knees wide apart. Bring the toes in towards each other. So knees splay apart, big toes are touching, and we're wide-kneed child's pose. First, you'll just try and sit back towards the heels, keeping the knees spreading. And then you'll try and walk the fingertips forward. Pause at each inhale and sense where you are. Go a little farther if you desire on the exhale, maybe to the elbows. Keep engaging the inner thighs, toning the pelvic floor. As you reach forward to your limit, maintain strong dedication and muscular energy in the thighs. As you inhale, lift and broaden the inner armpits so the back of the neck doesn't feel pinched. And as you exhale, tighten in the tummy, engage more in the inner thighs and pelvic floor. And gradually release and lift it back up. Okay. Now we have frog pose, Bekasana. We'll do half frog pose. So coming to a prone position, bring the elbows under the shoulders. So, then rotate the left forearm so it's diagonally in front of the chest. And then bend the right knee. You're going to reach back and hold the right foot with the right hand. If you have the option, turn the arm so it's externally rotated. The hand is on now the inside of the right foot or ankle. Press down through the left elbow, lift up through the chest. And as you're ready, you're going to bring that right heel in towards the outer right hip. Exhaling as you squeeze it a little closer. Inhale, give yourself space to expand, realign, rebalance. And each exhale, just gently testing your limit. These are very deep and thick muscles. You're stretching the quadricep. So you have to really be patient. Deep breath. Then we'll slowly release that side and switch to the left leg. This time the right forearm is supporting. We're bending the left knee, holding the left foot, hopefully from the inside, so that that left shoulder is externally rotating, and then gradually bringing that left heel closer. As you exhale, pull the navel to the spine, lengthen the tailbone, and add a little bit more pressure to the stretch. Try not to let that left hip lift up, but you're keeping both hips parallel to the floor. And very resistant muscles, we just have to be very patient. And slowly release that left leg. And we'll come to table pose once more. Now we're going to kickstand that right foot out to the side. Balance on that right arm and the right knee. Lift up the left leg, bend the knee, and bind with left hand. So same hand to foot. Left hand to left foot and ankle, and half bow here on with one knee down. Broaden the chest, Rolling the shoulders back, in. Open the throat. And kick back through that left ankle. Now release the side. And bring the left hand and knee down. Kickstand the left heel out to the side. Balance on the left arm. And you're going to bind right hand to right foot. So I put the index middle finger right in the crease of my ankle, and then flex the foot. It holds the hand and foot together. Start to open the throat more, rolling the shoulders back, and kick away with that right heel. And then I'll release that down, and back to hands and knees. And go ahead and press back to downward dog for a nice counter stretch. As you exhale, pull navel to spine, and you lengthen the tailbone and open up the lower back. Okay. Now please step right foot through to low lunge, left knee down. And first, lift up, Anjaneyasana. Anchor through the hips by pulling in and under with that right heel and resisting with the left thigh. And bring that left hand to right knee, rotate to the right, twist the shoulders, look over the right arm. Now bend the back knee and you come into this twisted monkey pose. You can have that left hand on the right knee, or you can bring the left hand down deeper to the mat and put a little bit more stretch in the thigh. So wherever you want to be. And releasing this side. I'll step the right foot back, down dog. And then lift the left, step it through, and lower right knee, low lunge. Inhale, rolling the shoulders up and back, pulling in through the navel, root down through the legs, anchor with muscular energy, and then lift up the breath. Spread the fingers. Add in that little back bend. And release. Now twist to the left side. Open the arms. Hold that right hand to left knee. Bend the back knee so you can bind the hand to the foot. You can stay upright or bring the right hand down to the mat for a deeper thigh stretch. And then slowly release on that side and step back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll lift the right leg up, anchor through the left heel, and open the right hip. Three-legged dog. Now bend the right knee and bend the left knee and soften the elbows. You've got a lot of flexibility. Start to twist and step behind with the right foot. Now the right knee will stay bent, but I'm going to slide the left foot out, straighten the left leg, open the chest, and spiral open in this wild thing. Now release, bend the knees, bend the elbows, come back onto the mat with both feet and down dog. And balance on the right foot, lift the left leg, open the hip, and then extend through the left toes, stretch through the arms. And you're not letting the right shoulder collapse down. Lift up under that right armpit. Now bend both knees. Step behind with the right foot. Space. And balance on the right arm. Now I'm going to slide that right leg out. Straighten the right leg. So you're on the outer edge of the right foot. And lift the hips up by pressing down with that back leg. The left foot presses down, it lifts the hips up, and you get more extension and length. And you're a wild thing. Look out. All right, release it down, back to hands and knees. And we have to come up to standing. So step or hop forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Tadasana. Arms extended. And then cross the wrists. Interlace the fingers. Fearless heart mudra at the chest. Balance on the left leg for dancer, Nataranjasana. Keep the left knee, a little micro bend in the left knee, so there's springiness, and then lift the right heel, bind the right hand to the right ankle. Again, the middle finger fits right in the crease of the ankle when you flex the foot, and then you can extend the arm, left arm up. Draw the lower ribs in, pull the navel to the spine, and keep that nice length as you start to reach forward with the chest and kick back with the right foot. And you're keeping the right hip from lifting up and out to the side by facing forward. Now you can stay there, or diving dancer, slide the left fingertips down the left leg. Keep lifting the right foot up towards the sky. I guess we're inside, this would be the ceiling. And soften the knee. Inhale, lift back up. A little shaky, and release this right leg down. Shake it all out. Now, the dancer on the balance on the right leg, a little micro bend in the right knee, and then you're going to bind the left hand to the left ankle. Lock it in, flex the foot, spread the toes. Inhale, reach up through the right arm. And exhale, start to reach out through the heart. Lift the back foot up towards the sky. Stay here or start to fold forward, diving dancer. Bringing the right hand slowly down the right leg, the shin, perhaps even to the ankle. And carefully releasing when you're ready, lift up. Both feet down, both arms up, extending. Lift up through the backs of the thumbs, press down through the tailbone and heels, and then rest the arms. Now we're going to do warrior two. Step right foot back, turn the toes out 90 degrees and keep lengthening your stance to your capacity. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, pull the navel in, deepen the hips, engage in the core, the pelvis, and breathe life into the pose. New awareness, openness of mind, receptive to learning whatever this moment has to offer without attachment to preconceptions. Now, side angle pose. Start with the left elbow on the thigh and extend the right arm up and over the right ear. Inhale, look up and draw the right armpit back. And exhale, pull the navel in, deepen the hips a little lower. And you can try, bring that right hand to the inside mat, inside the left thigh. And you can also try binding behind the back with the right arm, and then under the thigh with the left hand. Now release the side and step the left foot back to downward dog. And inhale, lift the right leg up and step the right foot through. As you exhale, turn the left toes out. Inhale, we're standing, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Lengthen the stance, align the feet, the hips, and inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. And exhale, pull the navel in, go deeper in your pose. Breathe into the core of the pelvis, maintaining that fearless heart. Now, right elbow to thigh, an extended side angle, Parshvakonasana. Inhale, pull that left armpit in and back so the shoulder blade rides onto the back of the ribs. And as you exhale, tighten the tummy more. See if you can go a little deeper. You may try, bring the right hand to the mat, inside the right thigh. You may try and bind behind the back with the left arm behind you, the right arm under the right thigh. And lengthening the spine, the back of the neck, and opening the shoulders. Now rolling the left shoulder up and back. And releasing the hands down, step the right foot back to downward dog. Now, let's lower the knees, lower the elbows, and bring the fingertips together or interlaced. We're going to do a forearm plank. We're going to start with the knees on the ground and just talk about alignment. We're going to squeeze the knees together, the shins together. You can hold the feet up. And then tighten the tummy, draw the navel up and in. Then start to lengthen the tailbone. Okay, so you don't want to collapse in the lower back. You want to lift in the navel, lengthen the tailbone. Press down through the elbows so you're not collapsing in the back of the shoulders. Pressing down broadens the back of the scapula, the shoulder blades, and looking down lengthens the back of the neck. If you're looking forward a lot, it'll pinch the back of the neck. So we're looking down some, tightening the navel, pressing through the elbows. Now you can keep the knees down. We're going to hold for 10 breaths. Or lift the knees. Here we go. 10 breaths. Pull navel to spine. Keep breathing. You can do this. Halfway. Two more. One more breath. And release. Lower all the way out. Lengthen the arms. Full Danda Pranam. This full offering. Just giving it all up. And lifting prayer hands up and over the head, symbolizing this offering. Letting go of whatever isn't serving us. Just leaving that as an offering. And we're going to press up. And press back to down dog briefly. And we'll lift the right leg and bring the right knee up and forward to pigeon. Right knee behind the right wrist and walk the left knee back. Now, even though this is easier than plank pose, we still need to engage muscular energy in the core of the pelvis. Hug the outer hips in towards the midline. Pull the navel to the spine. And as you're ready, just walking out a little bit as you exhale, pausing there as you inhale, and sensing how the hips are level, how the core engages more as you exhale, helping you stretch out a little longer, not only through the fingers, but also back through the left toes. Like your body was in a taffy pull and people were pulling from both directions. Now, slowly lift up, walk the hands in, and step the right foot back to downward dog. Walk out the knees, and lift the left leg up. Bend the knee, and swing the left knee forward into pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. And slide the right knee back, but keep the right hip pointed forward, the left hip crease drawing up and in. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, stretch out a little deeper. Maybe the elbows come down. As you inhale, lift up through the back of the neck and skull. And as you exhale, pull in through the navel, hug the outer hips towards the midline. And stretch back through the big toe of the right foot as much as you're reaching out with the hands and arms. Okay. Slowly release, lift the shoulders, and step the left foot back, downward dog. And then just lower the knees, in the middle of the mat, widen the heels, and sitting back in hero pose, Virasana. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back, and exhale, pull the navel in, lengthen the tailbone, stretch through the spine. You can go to Supta Virasana if you keep walking the shoulders back onto the elbows or onto the back of the head or shoulders, getting an intense stretch in the quadriceps Keep stretching the tailbone, the knees towards the front of your mat as your head reaches towards the back of the mat. Again, these are very deep, strong, thick muscles, so really give them lots of time, lots of breath. And as you're ready, lift the head up and back up into table pose. Now step right foot forward and lift the hands up to the right thigh. This is another version of pigeon, akapada. We bend the back knee and bring it into a thigh stretch. Hold the left foot with the left hand. If possible, you bring the elbow up and the heel closer to the outer hip. Then you would try and square the chest towards the front of the mat. Bring the right shoulder back. Maybe you lift the right arm up. You can also do a mermaid variation, or try in this variation. The foot goes into the crook of the left elbow. And we reach for the bind. And start to release that. And step back to down dog for counter stretch. Now, other side. Step the left foot through. Lower the right knee. And lift the hands up to the left knee. Roll the shoulders up and back. And exhale, pull the navel in. Deepen the hips. So really strong engagement, hugging the muscles to the bone, and pelvic floor lifting. And we bend the back knee. And gradually bring the right heel in. If you're comfortable there, start to lift the left arm. Draw that arm bone down into the shoulder socket, the shoulder blade onto the back, bend the back elbow. And you can just stay with the hands separated and press back through the back of the skull into that left wrist. Or trying the mermaid variation. We get that right foot in the crook of the elbow. And at first you might have to look down to get to the bind, and then you try and look up. Once you have the bind, open the chest a little more, open the throat a little more, and still breathe. All right, enough of that. Release that tough pose. All right. Walk it out. And then lower the knees. Step right foot through. Slide the right heel forward. And you can fold over the right leg with the knee slightly bent. We're pressing down through the right heel, lifting up under the back of the knee, and reaching up, out, and over the right hip. Keep tensing that right kneecap. The right quadricep is pulling the thigh bone up into the hip socket, keeping it nice and safe. You can stay with that, or go ahead into your full Hanumanasana split, walking the left knee back, but still maintaining that downward pressure with the front heel, protecting this knee joint from overextension, hyperextension. And folding, if you're comfortable, towards that right leg. And releasing the side, drag the right heel back and step it behind. Step the left foot through. can be in this sort of kneeling pyramid pose and just keep a slight micro bend in the left knee, downward pressure with the left heel, and reach up, out, and over the left hip. Lengthen the back of the neck, and as you exhale, tighten the tummy and breathe your way into the stretch mindfully, thoughtfully, with an open mind. No attachment to previous concepts of what's possible. You might try the full split and see, you might surprise yourself. Keeping that micro bend in the left knee to protect it from hyperextension, you start to lengthen over the left leg. Keep muscular energy very excited, very alive, to hug the muscles to the bone, to keep the bones safe in the socket. One more nice full breath here. And we'll slide the left heel back. Time just flies. We have one more really fun pose. That's our Ekapada Kundinyasana. So we'll step the right foot forward into a lizard lunge. Bring the arms inside the right thigh. Walk the left knee back. Gently stretch through the hips as you breathe. Exhaling, a little deeper bend in the elbows. Some people will be able to get the elbows to the floor. Take the right hand and cup it around the back of the right heel. And so now the right elbow extends underneath the right thigh. The right palm on the floor, the left palm on the floor. I want you to lift up the right leg and kind of walk it diagonally away from you. Eventually that right heel will lift up, and you keep tipping forward with your shoulders and head so the weight will balance and you can lift the back leg. And that's our flying split, or Ekapada Kundinyasana. Now, carefully release this so that you can switch sides. Right foot back, left foot forward. Just come into a nice lizard stretch. Taking your time to breathe deeply into the hips. Over a series of breaths, perhaps getting deeper, getting that left elbow to tuck underneath the left thigh. Maybe you're just holding the left foot, or you can get the left palm to the floor. The right palm on the floor, start to walk that left foot out, diagonal away. Float it up, lean the shoulders forward, and lift the back leg. Soaring split. And we'll go back to hands and knees for a nice little rest in child's pose. Yes. Take a breath. Lower the head. Whatever happened, just offer it up. Let it go. Use the experience to learn. But don't be attached to the fruit of your actions. Coming up to seated. And we'll do a little twist. So take both legs, both feet to the left side. I'll face you more. Right. Both feet to the left side. And you can just keep the knees spread wide apart. You can bring one foot up in half lotus, however you choose. And we're twisting to the right. Broad Vajrasanas twist, and looking over the right shoulder. Maybe circling the chin, releasing any tension in the neck. Now, please switch sides. Twist the knees to the left, heels to the right, and they can be, just on the floor. They can be sort of interlaced. In one version, you have half lotus with the left foot up. Broad Vajrasanas twist. Take the back side of the right hand, put this down for a minute, back side of the right hand towards that outer left knee. And that way you have more of an external rotation in the right shoulder, more openness in the collarbones. And you have more freedom to move the chin around and really feel where it's best. And take one more breath. And release that side twist. Okay, did very well. Now we'll do a finishing pose. We're lying down on the back. Extending the arms up over the head. And inside edges of the feet touching, fingertips touching. And just symmetrically lengthen away through the toes, out through the fingers. And slowly release and bring the arms down to the side, widen the feet to the width of the mat, and rotate the palms face up, tuck the shoulder blades under, and shake out any last vestiges of tension, and begin to settle into your mat in Shavasana. Getting more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed, more and more at peace and acceptance. Corpse pose is the most important pose in teaching us how to be non-attached to the body, because we are reminded that one day we will be a corpse, and the body will be a corpse, I should say. But that doesn't make this moment in life any unhappier. It makes it all the more poignant and precious. It is said that there are different stages for becoming a Jivanmukta. The first stage corresponds to the waking state of consciousness, the realization that the entire vast universe of billions of galaxies and universes is all pervaded by the divine consciousness. It is the undifferentiated ocean of being. When this stage is achieved, then the person gets the freedom from the idea that the world is separate and independent from us, and is an ultimate source of abiding pleasure and joy. The second stage corresponds to the dreaming state of consciousness. Realization that every being is interconnected and all apparently separate jivas are embodiment of the one divine consciousness. When this stage is achieved, then the person gets the freedom from ahankara, that's the self-identification, the notion of self-identity, and the notion of difference and the other, thus being able to cultivate empathy with all and universal compassion for all beings. And the third stage is an intimacy with the divine, corresponding to the unconscious, dreamless state. God realization occurs when the nature of the self is recognized. When this stage is achieved, then the person gets freedom from all self-effort to achieve liberation, freedom from religion and its bondage, and the relinquishing of all self-imposed burdens, achieving a state of equanimity, tranquility, abiding joy and peace. And then the final stage, communion with or unification with the absolute Godhead. The inconceivable and inexpressible fourth state of consciousness, emerging with the Godhead, bordering on complete identity. When this stage is achieved, then the person becomes a complete Jivanmukti and gets the absolute freedom from rebirth and suffering. This is the stage of the Brahma Nirvana. Okay. Just to start with the first step is a big undertaking. And I think you're a wonderful person for showing up and being present to this experience. Now, please begin to deepen your breath. And start to move and stretch, and finally to roll over to your right side into a semi-fetal position. It's feeling nice and safe and warm and happy. And then when you're ready, come back up to easy seated pose. Once more, make the fearless heart mudra. Abhaya hridayam. Rolling the shoulders up and back, straightening the spine, and balancing the head, neck, and trunk right over the sitting bones. And just paying attention to the breath and the touch of air in the nostrils. Knowing that you've learned something deeper about yourself today. Start to unify the manifest and transcendent realities. And begun to liberate yourself from bondage, attachment. I bow to your liberation, your Jivanmukti. Namaste.